All right, first off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to Akim out there pushing this word in all sincerity and in all truth. All right, much love and peace and blessings to the elect, the 1/3, the men, women, and children whom the Lord will have mercy upon on his return. All right, this is Brother Kabash coming at you again with a different another lesson. And this lesson is going to be focused on the trial of our faith that's coming. Right, every member of the elect, right, your faith will be tried in these coming days, right, whether you be made of silver, wood, hay, stubble, iron, brass, your faith is going to be tested. Your faith is going to be tested by the tribulations, by the trials, by the different hardships that's coming on this earth. As brothers rejoice, that the prophecies are fastly unfolding. That we're seeing these prophecies come to pass. We're seeing the world head toward the final moments, of its existence. We should also arm ourselves, with the mind that we will be tried, that this is the time of our final test. This is the time, when we will truly be tested to see what kind of men we are, what kind of women we are. I'm speaking to the few sisters, that believe, right? So we're going to start off with Matthew 24 verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no nor ever shall be. And except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. So the point is, there's going to be so much tribulation on the earth that has never been before you. Right? We've been through slavery. We've been through 70 AD. We've been through the siege of Jerusalem when the Babylonians took over. We've been through slavery on the Pharaoh. We've been through so much shit, right? But none of that compares to what's coming, right? None of that compares to what's coming, right? So Akim, Akwath, you have to arm yourself with that mindset that you will, be tested, that you will be tried to see what manner of man you are. Right, especially the elect brethren, the 144,000, the men who will be ruling the next kingdom. You will be tested, right? We will be tested. This is Matthew chapter 20, and I'll start at verse 22. All right, let me start at verse 21. He said, and he said unto her, right, matter of fact, let me start from verse 20. Matthew 20 verse 20. Then came unto him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshipping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, what wilt thou? She said unto him, grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one on thy right hand, and the other on thy left hand in thy kingdom. But Yahushua answered and said, ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink the cup that I drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say unto him, we are able. Right? And he saith unto them, ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left, it is not mine to give, but it shall be given of them of whom is prepared of my Father. So every member of the elect, the 144,000 especially, that has taken hold of this belief, we brothers who are in the highways and the byways, doing the work of the Lord, working for that penny a day, hoping for that redemption, for that glory, right? We will drink of that cup, and that cup, that baptism is a fiery baptism, right? Yahushua went through not one of the greatest, but the greatest trials, right? He was tortured and crucified, right? So arm yourselves likewise to drink of that cup, right? Arm yourselves likewise to drink of that cup. We may not all see death. Only a few brothers may glorify Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua in death. But, make no mistake, you will be tried. Make no mistake, these days will not pass and see you unscathed, right? There will be a trial of your faith. There will be a proving of your faith, This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, and I'll start from verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and their going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For Yahweh proved them, right? For Yahweh proved them and found them worthy of himself. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering, right? And in the time of their visitation they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. Isn't this our hope? Right? Isn't this our hope? Isn't this what we hope for? To judge the nations, to have dominion over the people, right? That our Lord may reign forever, right? It says in Revelation chapter 2 that we will receive, right, the blessing that Yahweh shall receive, right? To break in pieces the nations, to rule over them with a rod of iron. Isn't this our hope? Then if this is our hope, we will be chastised before we are greatly rewarded. We will have to be proven, right, to be found worthy. As gold in the furnace, we will have to be tried, right? So that in the time of our visitation, we may shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. What's that talking about? That's talking about spiritual power, Akim. Before that time come, we will be chastised. We will be proven. We will be tried in the furnace, right? It is inevitable, Acts 14 verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh, right? We must what? Through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh, right? That's how it is, Moving on, this is 2 Ezra chapter 2, and I'll start from verse, let me start from verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered me and said, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and have put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Know they are crowned and receive palms, right? Let's look at the equivalent in Revelation chapter 7 verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great. Matter of fact, let me read up a bit. Right, Revelation 7 verse 13, just to show you that it's the equivalent. And one of the angels answered and said unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robe and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of God, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall neither hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them into living fountains of water, and Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Right? We hope to be a part of these men, right? The 144,000 men, right? They speak about at the top of the chapter, right? Verse 4 says, And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed were 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, 12,000 from each tribe, right? We hope to be a part of that number, right? So therefore we must come through what? Through great tribulation, and wash our robes in the blood of the Lamb. What does that mean? That means we'll be tried, right? That means we will be given the choice of choosing your woman, choosing your son's life, choosing your life over this truth. It is coming, right? A brother here in Jamaica has been put out of his house because his family is saying that he's a health risk, because he's constantly going around a brother, so he's gonna bring the COVID-19 virus back to the home and infect his grandmother. We're having the same tribulation here that where I'm staying with Ella Shapar, right? That our grandmother is saying that we're coming into contact with all these men, and putting her health at risk. This is just the beginning of it, This is just the beginning of it, right? You will be tested. I'm gonna finish up with the story about the 3 Hebrew boys, right? And their test, their hour of temptation, right? Daniel chapter 3 and verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto him, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, the flute, the harp, the sackbut, the psaltery, the dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. You notice how the worship of these gods are tied to music. It's the same in this time, yo. Right? But if you worship not, ye shall be cast in the same hour into the midst of a burning fire furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. Right? Meaning what? We're not anxious, yo. Let me just look it out to make sure that, you know, I'm correct. You know? We are not careful. Right? So the Hebrew word here is kashak. Right? Let me just bring it out. Right? It says the thing needed in the sense of readiness, to be necessary, from the idea of convenience, to need, to careful, to have need for, right? To reckon needful, right? So it says, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fire furnace, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his vision was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. Right? And he commanded the most mighty men that were in the army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fire furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the fire furnace. Therefore, because the king's command was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew these men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fire furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said to his counselors, Did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. And he answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men walking in the midst of the fire, they are not hurt. And the 4th is of the form of like the Son of God. Right? And said, Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth out of the fire. Right? The point is, right, these men went through their test, yo. Right? And that test was to see if they would die before serving these other gods, yo. We will be given that test, yo. We will be given that test. Whether it's a test, whether you will take that RFID microchip, which is swiftly being implemented, you know, to save your life, you know, to save your kid's life, to save your woman's life, to save your family's life, you know. All these different things are coming upon us, Akim. Right? The test of our faith is coming. Right? Want to say Kalala Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakah Kodash, give me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom.